Every investor dreams of freedom. The freedom to make their money work for them, the freedom to build wealth that lasts, and the freedom to look at the future with confidence instead of fear. But here it's a truth that very few talk about. The biggest war in investing isn't happening on Wall Street, or in Silicon Valley, or on the trading floor. The biggest war is happening inside your own mind. Have you ever been in front of your trading screen, watching the market dip, feeling your stomach twist, your heart racing, your palms sweating? One part of you says, "Sell now before you lose everything." Another whispers, "Hold on, this could recover. Don't panic. Maybe even buy more." That battle, that constant tug of war inside you, is what we call internal conflict. And believe it or not, that conflict silently destroys wealth every single day. But what if I told you that conflict doesn't have to be your enemy? What if, with the right training, you could transform conflict into your greatest ally? Today, I'm going to show you how conflict management training, something rarely discussed in the investment world, can unlock sharper judgment, more consistent returns, and a level of emotional control that separates amateurs from true professionals. At first, the phrase conflict management training might sound out of place in a conversation about investing. You probably imagine business leaders, CEOs, or negotiators sitting at a table trying to resolve disputes. But here's the reality. As an investor, you are both the leader and the negotiator of your own financial destiny. The conflicts you face are not only external, they are internal. Fear versus ambition, patience versus impatience, rational analysis versus emotional impulses. These battles play out in your mind every day, and the results directly affect your portfolio. Now imagine if instead of being pulled in different directions, you could approach each decision with clarity, calmness, and alignment with your long-term vision. That's what internal conflict management training does for investors. It builds mental resilience, emotional awareness, and strategic discipline. The exact skills the world's most successful investors use, but few ever talk about. Think back to a decision you regret in your investment journey. Maybe you sold during a panic, only to watch the stock recover days later. Maybe you ignored your research because headlines screamed disaster, and you froze. Or maybe you chased a so-called hot stock tip because everyone else was talking about it, even though deep down you knew it didn't align with your strategy. That sinking feeling of regret? That's the price of unmanaged conflict. Internal conflict is like having two voices constantly arguing in your head. One screams in fear, the other whispers with greed. The problem is not that you hear them. The problem is that you don't know how to manage them. Without proper training, conflict creates stress, self-doubt, paralysis, and mistakes that cost thousands or even millions over a lifetime. But conflict doesn't have to be destructive. In fact, conflict is energy. When you learn to manage it, you channel that energy into sharper thinking, stronger discipline, and unshakable confidence. That's the moment investing stops being chaotic and starts becoming strategic. So how exactly does conflict management training apply to investors like you and me? Let's break it down into 3 critical skills. The first is awareness. This is about recognizing the moment emotions are hijacking your decision-making. It's when you catch yourself thinking, "I need to sell right now or I'll lose everything." That moment of awareness gives you the power to pause. The second is control. Training teaches you practical tools, deep breathing, structured analysis, and step-by-step frameworks that slow down impulsive reactions. Instead of acting in panic, you delay your response until clarity returns. The third is decision alignment. Once awareness and control are in place, the final step is aligning your actions with your long-term goals. You stop asking, "What feels good right now?" and start asking, "Does this decision support my strategy 5, 10, or 20 years from now?" Think of it as building an internal dashboard. Every time conflict arises, the dashboard lights up, and you know exactly how to process it instead of letting it process you. The result? Fewer mistakes, more confidence, and more consistency in growing wealth. And here as the kicker. The investors who master this skill are the ones who stay calm when others crumble. That's why legends like Warren Buffett often remind us that investing is 80% psychology and only 20% strategy. If you're serious about building wealth and you're finding value in this lesson, make sure to subscribe to Investor School right now. Because here, we're not just teaching tactics. We're building the mindset of the investor who wins for decades, not just months. Let me paint a scenario. During a major downturn, the market drops 20% in a matter of weeks. The headlines scream recession. Social media fills with panic. Inside you, two forces battle. Fear pushes you to sell, greed tempts you to buy aggressively. An untrained investor flips back and forth until paralysis or panic takes over. But a trained investor recognizes the conflict, applies the tools, steps back, and reframes the situation. What does my strategy say? Am I diversified? What opportunities does this create? Instead of reacting, they respond with precision. That's how wealth is built quietly while the crowd panics loudly. And here's something most people miss. Conflict management doesn't only help you survive downturns. It helps you thrive in every decision. When you know how to manage your internal conflicts, you're no longer paralyzed by fear. You're no longer seduced by hype. You create space for creativity, patience, and boldness when the right opportunities appear. It's not just about avoiding mistakes. It is about unlocking clarity, the kind of clarity that multiplies returns while others are stuck in chaos. So ask yourself, how much is unmanaged conflict costing you right now? How many sleepless nights? How many rushed trades? How many missed opportunities are happening not because of the market, but because of the battles inside your mind? The investors who last, who win big, and who build wealth that changes generations are not the ones with the fanciest algorithms or the luckiest picks. They are the ones who master themselves first. Conflict management training isn't a luxury. It's not a side skill. It's the foundation. It's your hidden superpower. And if you choose to invest in mastering it, your decision-making sharpens, your confidence grows, and your results transform. Remember this: the greatest investment you will ever make is not in a stock, not in a bond, not in real estate. It's in your own mind. Stay disciplined, stay curious, and as always, welcome to Investor School, where we build not just investors, but legends.